I died, choking on my own blood, the coppery taste flooding my mouth as Jake's boot pressed down on my windpipe. His face twisted into that fake-ass smile he saved for family photos. "It's for the best, Kylie," he'd whispered, like he was breaking bad news about a parking ticket, not ending my life over a goddamn house I clawed my way into owning. The last thing I saw was the faded American flag sticker peeling off my fridge door, the one I'd slapped on there after scraping together the down payment from night shifts at the diner. Then nothing. Black.
Gone.
But here I was again, gasping awake in the driver's seat of my beat-up Honda Civic, the engine ticking cool in the July heat of suburban Phoenix, Arizona, 2018. My hands, my same calloused hands from flipping burgers and scrubbing toilets, gripped the steering wheel like it was a lifeline. The dashboard clock blinked 2:17 p.m. The exact minute I'd pulled up to the shithole of a real estate office 3 years ago. The day Jake convinced me to co-sign that loan for our future. Sweat beaded on my forehead, not from the desert sun but from the scream trapped in my throat. I'd looped back, reborn in my own skin, 2 weeks before the closing on my starter home, the one I'd poured every dime and dream into. And I knew, bone deep, that this time, I wouldn't let him bury me in it. Heart pounding like a jackhammer, I slammed the car door and stormed into the office, the bell jingling like a bad omen. The air conditioning hit me like a slap, all fake pine scent and desperation. There he was, my big brother Jake, all 6'2" of him slouched in a plastic chair, flipping through a glossy brochure like he owned the place. His hair was gelled back, that salesman grin already in place, the one that hid the shark underneath. "Kylie, there you are."
Cease.
Ready to make history? I froze, bile rising.
History.
Yeah, the history where he forged my signature on the deed transfer, sold the place out from under me for a quick $400K flip, and pinned a federal fraud rap on me when the feds came sniffing. The house I'd bought in that rundown neighborhood off Baseline Road, tiny 2-bedroom with a leaky roof and a yard full of mesquite weeds, had been my anchor. First-generation college dropout turned paralegal. I'd hustled through community college debt and mom's medical bills after dad bailed. Jake? He'd breezed through life on charm and my handouts, always one big score away from making it. That score was my home, leveraged into his Ponzi scheme with some shady developer cronies. "Jake," I said, my voice steady even as my vision tunneled. "We need to talk."
Now.
The realtor, a peroxide blonde named Trish with too much lipstick, glanced up from her desk, eyebrows arched. I didn't give her the satisfaction. Grabbing his arm, harder than I meant, feeling the familiar give of his bicep from all those gym selfies, I dragged him outside into the blistering parking lot. Asphalt shimmered like black glass, heat waves distorting the saguaros in the distance. He yanked free, laughing that easy laugh that always disarmed people.
"Whoa.
Kai, what's eating you? This is our ticket out." "You."
"Me."
"Splitting the equity." "Equity." I spat the word like venom. "You mean the part where you sell it behind my back and leave me holding the bag for the IRS audit?" His eyes widened. Just a flicker. But I caught it. The life forming on his lips. In my first life, I'd bought it hook, line, and sinker. "Kylie's just dressed," he told the cops after they found my body slumped in the kitchen. "Staged like a suicide. Overdose on painkillers." They'd ruled, closing the case in weeks because who suspects the golden boy brother? But the federal property monitoring logs, Those buried digital trails I'd obsessively pored over in the afterlife haze told the real story. Jake hadn't just flipped the house, he'd laundered cartel cash through it, using my clean credit as cover. When the feds got close, he silenced me. Permanently.
Now.
Staring at him under that merciless Arizona sky, I felt the rage coil like a rattlesnake in my gut. This wasn't just revenge, it was resurrection. Listen to me,
Jake.
I'm walking away from this deal. Today. His face hardened, the charm cracking like cheap drywall. You can't. We're co-signers. It's binding. Watch me. I pulled out my phone, thank God for muscle memory, and fired off an email to my lawyer buddy from the firm, attaching the preliminary docs I'd accidentally forwarded to myself last night in this looped timeline. Undo the cosign. Sever ties. He blinked.
Processing.
Kai.
Come on.
Mom's treatments. Don't. I stepped closer. Voice low and lethal. You think I don't know about the developer meetings? The offshore accounts? Or how you planned to pin it all on me when the heat came down? Bluffing? Halfway. But the future me knew every detail. Every time-stamped email from the dark web leaks that exposed his web. His Adam's apple bobbed, sweat trickling down his temple despite the shade from his truck. You're talking crazy. Let's go inside. Cool off.
No.
I turn on my heel, keys jangling like shackles breaking. As I slid into the Civic, I caught his reflection in the side mirror, jaw set, eyes narrowing. He wasn't done. Not by a long shot. But neither was I. Driving away, the engine roaring like my pulse, I glanced at the rearview. Phoenix sprawled behind me, all strip malls and sun-baked dreams deferred. My house waited at the end of this road, my fortress. This time, I'd fortify it. Wire the doors. Install cameras. Dig into his dirt before he could touch me. Back home that night, the AC humming against the 110-degree heat, I cracked open a lukewarm Coors and booted up my laptop. The place smelled like fresh paint and possibility, bare walls I'd planned to fill with prints from the Phoenix Art Museum. A second-hand couch facing the tiny TV. My sanctuary. First order, scour public records. Jake's name popped up everywhere, co-owner on Flips and Mesa.
Lien top.
But deeper, in the county assessor's database. A shadow trail. Unfiled transfers. Whispers of a shell company called Desert Bloom Holdings. That was his baby. The front for funneling dirty money from south of the border. Cartel ties? In Arizona. That wasn't paranoia, it was Tuesday. I leaned back, fingers flying over keys, pulling strings from my paralegal days. A quick VPN hopped to anonymous forums, cross-referencing with federal PACER logs, public, but buried. There, a sealed indictment from 2020, the one that would have nailed him if I hadn't been the fall guy. Jake Harlan, alias JH. Bloom, suspected in mortgage fraud ring. My name listed as unwitting accomplice. Unwitting my ass. He'd fed me just enough rope to hang myself. By midnight, my eyes burned, but the plan crystallized. Step 1. Ghost the deal.
Done.
Step 2. Fortify. I ordered a Ring doorbell cam, deadbolts from Amazon, next day delivery in this godforsaken heat. Step 3. Bait the trap. I'd play the dutiful sister. Feed him scraps of normalcy while I unraveled his empire thread by thread. Call it controversial? Hell yeah. I'd hack his emails if I had to, Nothing a little fishing couldn't handle. Morally gray? In the first life. It got me killed. This time, survival trumps sainthood. The next morning, Jake showed up unannounced, banging on the door like he owned it already. Kai, open up. We gotta talk. Through the peephole, thank you. New install, I saw the strained lines around his eyes, the fidget in his hands. Good. Let him stew. I cracked the door, chain still latched. What? Look, I get you're spooked. But bailing now? That's suicide for both of us. Irony dripped from his words. He leaned in, voice dropping. The buyer's legit. Quick cash. We split it 50-50. Pay off mom's debts. Start fresh.
Fresh.
Like the blood on my kitchen floor. I'm out.
Jake.
Get your own fresh start. His fist slammed the frame, rattling the chain. You ungrateful bitch. After everything I've done.
Done.
I laughed. Cold and sharp. Like what? Borrow my social security number for your side hustle? Or cozy up to that sleazeball developer? Ruiz. While I slaved at the firm, his face paled bullseye. Ruiz was the cartel whisperer, the one who'd greenlit the hits when deals soured. How do you? He stopped, eyes darting like a cornered coyote. You're bluffing. Am I? I shut the door, the click echoing like a gunshot. Adrenaline surged, but so did fear. He'd escalate. In the first timeline, it started with calls, then friendly visits. Then the night he slipped in through the backslider with a key I'd stupidly given him years ago. No more. I changed the locks that afternoon, sweat-soaked and cursing under the relentless sun. Neighbors waved from their sprinklers, white picket fences hiding their own skeletons in this cookie-cutter hell. By evening, my phone buzzed, unknown number. You can't hide forever.
Kai.
Family sticks together. Jake's voice. Distorted but unmistakable. Voicemail threat number 1. I saved it. Uploaded to a cloud drive timestamped and encrypted. Evidence. The feds loved breadcrumbs. But this wasn't just about law and order, it was personal. He'd stolen my home, my trust, my life. And in America's cutthroat game of real estate roulette, where millennials like me fought for scraps while flippers like him cashed in, I'd play dirty too. Hack his bank? Frame him for the fraud he committed? The line blurred. And damn if it didn't feel good. Days blurred into a tense standoff. Work at the law firm kept me sane, divorces and DUIs, the gritty underbelly of Phoenix justice. But nights, I'd pore over maps of his flips, tracing Ruiz's properties back to Juarez draw points. One lead, a storage unit in South Phoenix, leased under Desert Bloom. Risky? Hell yes. But curiosity, or vengeance, drove me there under cover of dusk. Hoodie up against the chill wind whipping through chain-link fences. The unit was padlocked, dust-caked. But a quick Google on lockpicking tutorials, don't judge, had me inside in minutes. The files everywhere. Deeds. Wire transfers. Photos of bribed officials grinning like jackals. Jackpot. My phone flashlight caught a manila envelope labeled Cage. Insurance. My initials. Inside, forged docs making me the primary on a $500,000 loan I'd never seen. The setup. Heart racing. I snapped pics. Every damning page. That's when the headlights swept the lot. Footsteps. I ducked behind crates, breath shallow. Jake's voice. Low and urgent. It's here. The originals. Burn them tonight. Not alone, Ruiz's gravelly Spanish accent replied. Something about the sister asking questions.
Shit.
They knew. I waited.
Statue still.
Until tires crunched away. Slipping out, the desert night air clawed at my lungs. Home was a blur, barricaded and buzzing with new cams. Sleep? Forget it.
Dawn broke with a bang, literally.
Cops at my door, badges flashing. Kylie Harlan? We need to ask about some property discrepancies.
Jake.
He'd flipped it already.
Sick the law on me. Round one to him.
But as I lawyered up, stone-faced in the interrogation room, I smiled inside. The files burned in my pocket drive. Let them come. This rebirth was war, and I was just warming up. Interrogation rooms in Maricopa County smell like stale coffee and broken dreams, fluorescent buzz. Metal table scarred from too many desperate palms. Detective Ramirez, a no-nonsense Latina with a stare that could melt steel, slid a folder across to me. MS. Harlan, your name's on a lien for property on Elmwood. Fraudulent transfer, they say. Care to explain? I leaned back, chains clinking softly, courtesy of Jake's anonymous tip line call. No doubt. Fraudulent? Funny. 'Cause my brother's the one with the real estate fever. Check Desert Bloom Holdings. Her eyebrow twitched. Bait taken. Brother? Jake Harlan. She jotted it down. But I saw the skepticism. Cops in Phoenix see sibling beefs daily. This screamed domestic spat. Look, Kylie, we pulled your financials. Shady loans, cosigns you don't remember. If you're covering for family, I'm not. My voice cracked just a hair. The first life flashing. Me in a similar room. Crumbling under Jake's planted evidence. Pills found in my purse.
No.
Not again. I have proof. Emails.
Docs.
But you'll need a warrant for the full show. Bluff number 2. The storage pics were leverage. But handing them over now? Too soon. Let them dig. Find their own worms. Ramirez sighed, tapping her pen.
All right.
Sit tight. Hours later, they cut me loose, no charges. Just a person of interest tag that'd haunt my credit for months. Stepping into the blinding afternoon, I hailed an Uber. Mind racing. Jake was accelerating, looping in badges to discredit me before I could strike.
Fine.
Time to go nuclear. Back at the house, I fortified like a paranoid prepper. Motion lights. A Glock from a shady pawn shop. Controversial? In Arizona. It's Tuesday. And a burner phone for anonymous tips to the DEA hotline. Desert Bloom. Cartel laundering via Phoenix flips. I whispered into the line. Voice modulated.
Click.
Seed planted. But Jake didn't wait. That night, as monsoon rains hammered the roof like divine judgment, my ring cam pinged. Him, soaked and wild-eyed, jimmying the back gate. Kylie, open the fuck up. I watched from the dark living room, pistol heavy in my lap, heart thundering. He pounded the slider, glass rattling. We need to fix this. Ruiz is pissed. You're dragging us all down. Ruiz. The name slithered like smoke. In the first timeline, he'd been the ghost in Jake's machine. A mid-level coyote with ties to Sinaloa runners, greasing palms from Nogales to Scottsdale. Jake's cut? 20% on every dirty deed funneled through clean properties like mine. My death? Collateral when I stumbled on a ledger during a family cleanup visit. I hit record on the app. His rant spilling, threats. Please. The ugly truth. You think you're smart.
Huh.
Digging around? I made you.
Kai.
Pulled you out of that trailer park shit. This is payback for Mom for everything. Payback. The word ignited me. Mom's cancer had eaten her alive while Jake helped by borrowing her pain meds to flip on the street. I'd buried her, then built this house on her memory. He'd pissed on it. Kylie, the slider groaned, pry bar. Wood splintered. I chambered around, steady as the storm outside. Last warning.
Jake.
Walk away. Silence. Then a low chuckle, chilling in its familiarity. You won't shoot, family. The glass shattered inward, shards glittering like fallen stars. He tumbled through, rain slicked, eyes feral. I flicked on the light, Glock trained center mass. Try me. He froze, dripping on my thrift store rug, hands up but smirking. Jesus.
Kai.
A gun? This ain't you.
Wrong.
This was me, reborn in fire.
Sit.
We're talking. For real. He complied, warily, as I zip-tied his wrists to the dining chair, hardware store special. Rain drummed a tense rhythm while I brewed coffee. Bloskas my muet. Start with the house. Why me? Breath ragged. He spilled fragments. The flip was supposed to be clean. A starter for his legit agency. But Ruiz called in favors, laundered $2 million through quick sales. My cosign? Insurance. You were always the good one.
Kai.
Clean record. Lies wrapped in half-truths. I pressed, voice like ice. And when the feds knocked, you staged my OD to tie off loose ends. His eyes darted, guilty as sin. It wasn't like that.
Panic.
Ruiz said. Ruiz. I slammed the mug down. Hot liquid sloshing. That cartel fucker owns you.
Doesn't he?
The storage unit, your burn party? I was there. Saw it all. Defiance cracked. You broken? Christ.
Kai.
You're in over your head. But fear flickered.
Good.
We talked, or I interrogated for hours, monsoon fading to drips. He admitted the basics, the $400K sale wired to Cayman shells, my name forged on the exit docs. The federal monitoring? A glitch in the system that lit up like Christmas when the IRS cross-checked. They were coming for us. I had to. Kill me. The word hung.
Raw.
Tears stung. But I blinked them back. This was the betrayal's core. Not just greed, but erasure. I was the loose end, the sister who trusted too much. Dawn crept in, gray and unforgiving. I untied him, gun still holstered. Get out. And stay gone. Or the DEA gets the full drop. He staggered up, rubbing wrists, face a mask of betrayal as if he had the right. You're dead to me. Kentucky. Already was. Door slammed. Lock clicked.
Alone.
I collapsed against it, sobs racking. Victory?
Pyrrhic.
But alive. The next week was a pressure cooker. Work suspended. Administrative leave courtesy of the incident, report Jake filed, painting me as unhinged. Neighbors whispered, that Harlan girl, always odd. Phoenix suburbs thrived on gossip. Picket fence prisons of judgment. I holed up, diving deeper into the web. Ruiz's trail led to a strip club in Maryvale, El Diablo's Den, where coyotes recruited. Controversial move. I went undercover, blonde wig and push-up bra, nursing a watered-down margarita while eavesdropping. Bouncer eyes lingered, but I played the lost tourist. Over thumping reggaeton. Snippets. Bloom's sister sniffing, handle it quiet. My blood iced. Jake had ratted to Ruiz. Plan B. Anonymous email to Ramirez. Attaching storage pics. Anonymized. Follow the money to Desert Bloom. Bite came fast. DEA raided Jake's apartment 2 days later. Headlines blared, Phoenix flip fraud bust. I watched from a coffee shop, incognito, as vans swarmed his complex. Schadenfreude tasted sweet, but hollow. He called from lockup. Voice slurry. You bitch. This is on you. Consequences. Brother. Hang up. But Ruiz? Still out there. A ghost with reach. That night, tires screeched outside my house, bricks through windows. Graffiti scrawled, snitch. Cops came, dusted for prints, none. Chalked it to vandalism. Bullshit. I packed a go bag. Slept with one eye open. Twist hit by a certified mail, a deed revision. Postmarked from Jake's lawyer. The house, my house, was in foreclosure. Ruiz's shell had bought the note. Accelerated payments I couldn't meet on leave. Eviction in 30 days. Rage boiled. They'd outmaneuvered me, using the system against the little guy. America's dream. Own nothing. Fear everything. No more playing nice. I hit the dark web, Tor browser. Crypto wallet from paralegal side gigs. Hired a hacker collective, GhostNet, for $5,000 in Bitcoin. Target, Ruiz's offshore accounts. Controversial? Felony territory. But ethics died with me once. Revival demanded blood. Metaphorical.
For now.
GhostNet delivered. Dumps of emails. Ledgers tying Ruiz to Jake's flips. Even a hit list with my name circled. Jackpot. Forwarded to Ramirez. CC to a DOJ contact from the firm. The net tightened. Chow Treo brewed at a reconciliation meet Jake demanded from county jail. Via video link. His face, gaunt and orange jumpsuit, filled the screen in the library visiting room. Kai. Truce. Ruiz wants to sit down. Neutral ground. End this. Trap. Obvious. But the closer to the fire. Where? Desert Bloom office. Tomorrow. Come alone. I showed. Wired under my tank top, backup from a PI buddy who'd owed me from the first life. The office, strip mall sleaze. AC blasting Arctic against the heat. Jake waited, cuffed to a table. Ruiz looming in the corner like a vulture in silk shirt. Mid-40s, gold chains, eyes dead as roadkill. Sister, Ruiz drawled, accent thick. You stir shit. Now we fix. Jake nodded frantically. Tell her.
Man.
The whole play. Ruiz's laugh was gravel. Your brother?
Pawn. Me, king.
House was drop, cash in.
Clean out. You?
Loose tongue. Confession?
Bait.
I play dumb. So undo it. Drop the foreclosure. He leaned in, breath sour. Or what? You got nothing.
Click.
My wire live streamed to Ramirez's team, parked blocks away. Actually, I said, standing slow. I got feds. Chaos erupted. Doors burst. Vests and shouts. Ruiz lunged, knife flashing, but cuffs snapped before he connected. Jake howled betrayal. But it was his script, not mine. As they dragged him out, he spat. You ruined us.
Kai.
Family. Family? I whispered. Close enough for the wire to catch. You buried me. The raid's aftermath hit like a hubbub, dust storm of headlines, subpoenas, and side eyes from everyone who'd ever nodded at me in the grocery line. Phoenix House of Horrors, sibling cartel bus shock suburbs, blared the Republic. My face pixelated in the grainy photo, but whispers followed. The crazy sister, the snitch. In America's red, white, and blue morality play, whistleblowers get parades or pitchforks. I got both congrats from the DA, casseroles from pitying neighbors laced with, how could you turn on blood? But freedom tasted like ash. The house stood. Deed cleared in the plea deal. Jake's assets liquidated to cover my victimizee status. Federal property monitoring, that bureaucratic beast, had unraveled it all. Timestamps on the 400K wire. IP trails from Jake's laptop to Ruiz's servers. Cartel kingpin?
Nah.
Mid-tier mule. But enough to net him 20 to life.
Jake?
15 for fraud and conspiracy. The murder charge dropped when my suicide autopsy got re-examined. Blunt force overlooked first time. Accidental, my ass. I moved back in. Boards over the busted windows. Ghosts in every corner. Nights. I'd wake sweating. Boot on my throat phantom heavy. Therapy? A shrink in Tempe droned about trauma loops, but rebirth wasn't in the DSM. This was my loop. My revenge etched in federal dockets. Months ground on. Phoenix autumn pretending at cool with 90-degree highs. Work reinstated, promotion even to junior associate. Handling white-collar cases with a bitter irony. You get it, my boss said, clapping my shoulder. Yeah. I got the rot. Twist came uninvited. A manila envelope slipped under my door one dawn. No postmark. Inside, photos.
Me?
Entering the strip club. The storage unit. Timestamped from angles, no chem caught. A note. Typed sterile. Loose ends untie. Watch your back. B. Not Jake, his mail monitored. Not Ruiz. Rotting in Florence ADX.
Who?
Heart hammering. I cross-checked with GhostNet remnants, the hacker I'd cut loose post-bust. Cost another 2K. Traces led to Mom's old nursing home. Bullshit. Digging manual. Visitor logs from the first timeline. Hazy but recalled. There be Harlan. Beatrice. Our aunt. Dad's sister. The one who'd ghosted after the divorce. She'd shown at Mom's funeral. All crocodile tears and costume jewelry. Whispering to Jake about family investments. Investments. Plural. Rage reignited. Aunt B.
The wild card.
In the chaos of my death. She'd been the notary on the forged deed, her stamp, her greed. Muumuu-wearing widow in Sun City, living off pensions and pilfered kin. She'd bankrolled Jake's early flips. Her cut laundered too. The betrayal deepened, not just brother, but bloodline rot. Confrontation brewed in her over 55 trailer park. Golf carts puttering like geriatric go-karts under palm fronds. I pulled up unannounced. Glock tucked in my waistband, paranoia or prudence. Her door swung open before I knocked. B in floral muumuu. Martini glass sweating in her claw hand. Kylie.
Dear.
Heard you were. Stirring pots. Stirring. I stepped in. Acrid cat litter and gin assaulting. Forging. You stamped that deed.
And B.
My house. My life. She tittered, bird-like, sinking into a lazy boy. Jake needed help. Family helps. You were. Difficult. Difficult? Voice rose, echoing off tacky macrame. He killed me. For your help. Eyes narrowed. The crone mask slipping. Killed? Overdose. They said. Tragic. But her grip tightened on the glass. Lie detector. Busted. I paced. The trailer closing in, cluttered altars to dead relatives. Mom's photo crooked on the mantel. The photos. The note. You're cleaning up your mess. Silence. Then a sigh like escaping helium. B is for Beatrice.
Yes.
Jake squealed in lockup. DEA deal. Named names. Mine included.
But you.
You're the thread. Snip it. And I walk. Threat? From this husk? But the knife in her other hand said otherwise, kitchen cheapie. Serrated. Controversial calculus. Family or finish. She lunged. Wild and wheezing. Moo-moo flapping. I sidestepped. Glock out. But no shot. Not yet. Twist of wrist. Knife skittered. We grappled, her nails raking, me pinning her frail frame to the shag carpet. Why? I hissed, knee on her chest. Money? Legacy. Survival, she gasped, eyes wild. Your daddy left debts. I fixed it. Jake was my redo, smart.
Hungry. You?
Weak link.
Weak.
The word ignited. All those years. Her vacations funded by our scraps. Her silence when Mom begged for aid. The secret buried, not just fraud, but the fire that accidentally torched Dad's shop after he threatened exposure. Insurance payout?
Her seed money.
Sirens wailed distant. Neighbor call. No doubt. I hauled her up. Zip tie for my purse, always prepared. It's over.
B.
Feds'll love the ant angle. She spat. Venomous. You'll regret. Blood don't forget. Cops swarmed minutes later. Her trailer circus. Ramirez led. Eyebrow arched at the wire-eyed activated mid-scuffle. Harlan family reunion? More like reckoning. Be lawyered up. But the photos traced to her laptop, IP gold. By week's end, indictments flew. Accessory after the fact. Conspiracy. The plot's architect. Unmasked. Kylie Harlan. Reborn. Stood taller. House repainted sage green. Yard mesquite-free. A for sale sign?
Nah.
This was mine, scarred but standing. Mom's flag sticker? Polished. Proud. Final hook, Jake's appeal letter. Smuggled via inmate mail. Forgive me,
Sis.
it was B all along. She made me. Lies to the end. I burned it in the backyard fire pit. Flames licking under star-pricked skies. Forgiveness? Not in this life. America's underbelly, betrayal baked in like adobe, had tried to swallow me twice. But resurrection's gift, teeth. I bit back. Hard. And in the quiet nights, with the AC humming lullabies, I slept. Not easy, but earned. The plot revealed. The debt paid.
For now.
Epilogue whisper. A new lead pinged my secure email. GhostNet favor. Another flip in Mesa. BEA's signature faded but there. Loose ends? Never truly tied. But this time, I held the scissors.